Hey, Songtown. I'm Marty Dodson here with Clay Mills. Today we're going to talk about if you can't answer these 6 questions, you don't really have a song.
Man.
Pretty profound, huh? Let's dig in.
Number one, what do you want the listener to feel?
You mean you have to think about that?
I don't know if you have to think about it, but you have to accomplish it. And if you can't say, after you've written it, if you can't say that, then I think you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I was listening to a song the other day that someone played me, and the verse was really dark and moody and, kind of sad. And then the chorus music hit and it was bouncy and happy. I'm like, whoa. By the end of the chorus, I'm like, what am I supposed to feel here?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that you can't have a song that starts out one way and goes another, but that's not what the lyric was about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think at the end of the day, when somebody hears the song, they got to know how you want them to feel. Am I supposed to be happy when I hear this? Am I supposed to be like wanting to cut my wrist because it's so depressing? Like, just tell me one thing. Give me one emotion.
Yeah.
I don't want to be torn and confused and going, how am I supposed to feel?
Yeah, in my classes, I talk about generally you want one emotion unless the singer is confused.
Right.
So if the singer's feeling angry and sad and frustrated, you can try to incorporate all those things, but that gets pretty complicated. Most great songs are just about one emotion.
Yes.
It's about anticipation of seeing that person you love, or it's about the feeling of being with that person, all that kind of stuff, but it focuses on that one emotion.
And really amplifying that one emotion so that the audience feels it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 2 is, does my song have a clearly defined melodic hook?
Yes.
So they teach CPR now to the song Staying Alive because everybody that's ever heard that song can go, staying alive,
Are you pressing on? Is that the
Exactly.
chest compressions where you go,
Yes. You don't want to be going and doing the breaths with that beat, I don't think, but yeah.
Yeah, so often you brought up a good point. It's that rhythmic hook. And a lot of songs that we review in SongTown will have a nice melody, but there's not a rhythmic figure to go along with those notes. A lot of people think melody is just about notes, but half of the battle, if not more, is the rhythm of that melody.
Yeah.
That's what makes it memorable. So much so that you could go and you want to hear bump, bump.
Yeah.
You don't have to hear any notes. You can hear a rhythm.
Exactly.
And so that's, to me, rhythm might be slightly more important, especially these days, than the actual notes and chords. But I'm kind of old school where I like it all. I like great rhythm, great melody, melodies that fit nicely in the chord. I like all of it.
There's, a current song that I think does that really great is Pink Pony Club.
I haven't heard it.
Oh my goodness. I hear that song everywhere. But it's like, Pink Pony Club, I'm going to keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club.
Yeah.
And you just can't get it out of your head, when you hear that song.
Yeah.
What's the next one on our list? Number 3.
Imagine you're at a concert and you're hearing a song for the first time and that first chorus comes on. This is great. By the time that second chorus comes around, I want to be singing it, So the next one, the number 3 on our list would be, can the audience sing your song by the second chorus? I got this firsthand. I got to stand on the side of the stage and watch an artist, major artist, sing one of my songs, and the song wasn't out yet. So the audience had never heard the song. But by the time that second chorus came around, it had enough repetition and it was memorable enough that they were singing along to it, and that's what you want. You want the crowd to be so engaged and the melody to be so memorable. It's a great feeling when that happens.
Absolutely. I wrote a song called Fire It Up with a Canadian artist named Johnny Reed and Alan Frew, and Johnny sent me a picture of him at a festival a video, the first time he played that song. and he's singing along, and he goes chorus 2, and he lets the audience sing the chorus, and it's very repetitive and simple to learn. And that really highlighted to me like the importance of having that chorus that people can sing along with.
Yeah, and even if they didn't know all the words, if I remember correctly, they could sing Fire It Up in each line of the chorus.
Yeah.
So even if they didn't know all the exact words, they could still sing Fire It Up over and over and over and participate in the song.
Absolutely.
What's number 4?
Number 4 is, will a listener know why this song matters? You know, sometimes I'll hear a song and I'll go, it's well crafted, but I don't really understand why the writer wrote it or what it's supposed to do out in the world or how I'm supposed to feel. And I think, you know, you should be able to ask a listener, you know, why does this song matter? Who is this song going to matter to? You know, and then be able to say, oh, this is going to matter to everybody who's fallen in love before, you know, or this song is going to matter to everyone who's lost a loved one.
Right.
You know, and if you can answer that question of, you know, is this song going to matter? Will people understand why it matters and who it's going to matter to? Then you probably got a good song.
Yeah, we used to call that the give a crap factor. Yeah. Like, it's important. I can remember many songs in the writing room will stop and go, is anybody really going to care about this? And that's something that I think is an important question to ask. And what you're basically saying is, are we writing something that's going to make people care?
Yeah.
You know, do we care about it? Are they going to care about it? And why are they going to care about it?
Exactly. Clay, what's number 5? Hit us.
What's going to make people hit replay? What's going to make them listen to it again? And we've talked about some of it, a great catchy chorus, you know, but it's true. You don't want listeners that just hear your song once and go, oh, that's cool. You know, you want them to listen 10 times in a row because every time they hear it, they hear something different. The song says something different to them emotionally with the lyrics. And I think a lot of that goes to, are you just writing a song that sounds like everything else? Or are you adding something unique and different to your song?
Yeah.
You know, and I think you've got to have enough things in that song that keeps people's attention, keeps them coming back and listening. I mean, that's a one-time listen does nothing for us.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think contributes to people listening?
You know, I think it can be something that moves them emotionally.
Yes.
Something that makes them want to dance. Something, you know, that they want to get up out of their chair and dance around when they hear this song. Something they can sing along with. They feel like they're participating. Something that's got hooks, whether they're lyric hooks or melody hooks or rhythmic hooks. You know, all those things make people go, oh, I want to hear that again. You know, that song makes me feel good. That's mentioned the Pink Pony Club. I think that's a lot of what that song does. It's like there's parts in it that you can really easily sing along with it. There's cool rhythmic sections. It changes rhythm, and it's just got all kinds of hooks. So those are all kinds of things you need to think about because you want people to hit replay and hear that song again.
Or it could just be brutal honesty, something that, because you hit the nail on the head, I think, when you said that people like the emotion. And one time after a show I played, someone came up to me and they mentioned a song that I had out that was on the radio. And they said, I listened to that song over and over and over, and it got me through the hardest part of my life. I was taking care of a sick spouse, and that song got me through those hard times. I'm like, wow. And that person was listening to that song because it made them feel a certain way, and they wanted to keep feeling that way.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, we've all heard people say, I put that song on anytime I want to cry.
Yes.
You know? If they're feeling, you know, emotional and they're like, I just want to cry, get a glass of wine and cry, I'm going to play that song, you know?
Yeah.
That's one of the keys. Number 6 is, can someone summarize your song in 1 or 2 sentences?
Oh.
So if you ask someone, what's this song about? They should be able to say, this is about a man wanting to be the best lover he can be for his partner.
Right.
Or, some 1 sentence or 2 sentence answer about what it's about. And in my book, Song Building, I talk about, that's right. I talk about blueprinting, and that's kind of that idea of like, I want to blueprint my song so that I communicate to the listener exactly what I want them to hear and understand. And so I test that out by asking people, I ask my wife, what's this song about to you? And she'll tell me. And if that's pretty much my blueprint, I know I did a good job. If that's not what I meant, I go, okay, I'm confusing her. I need to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, a great example of that is Sarah Davis and the artist Gail, 2 SongTown members, wrote a song called ABCDEFU. Mm-hmm. And you instantly know what that song's about because of the FU. Mm-hmm. And that's what we want. We want people to be clear about how they're supposed to feel, what the song's about. And if people can't tell you what your song's about, then you're not going to hook them in. Yeah. Especially today, I think it's different. Back in the drug days of the 60s and 70s, people could write these like songs that meant nothing. It was like abstract art. But today, I think the world has got so many messages coming at people that often that clarity of your message will cut through where the abstract no longer is cutting through like it used to.
Yeah. So ask yourself those 6 questions. If you can answer those 6 questions, you're probably on the right track.
Yeah, right on.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you appreciate the content, hit the subscribe button and help us grow. Shout out to Sweetwater Music. It's where Marty and I get all our musical gear. Great people. We'll see you guys around town. Right on.